What is going on YouTube? I am back with another sit down kind of educational video for you guys. Very excited to present this one to you guys because this is kind of exactly the blueprint or what I've done in order to really push the agency that I'm like sales managing for and like a couple other offers, like pushing to 100K a month, right? So as far as how everything does work and how I actually got them from point A to B, that is going to be this video, a full entire breakdown of them, around 40K a month, 50K a month to now 100K a month, having their whole sales team dialed, having it really almost hands off. But yeah, this is kind of the whole system that I've used. That a lot of people will probably use this as well, but it is what it is. Very first thing that I had to that's non-negotiable when having any sort of sales team is you need to have top tier sales communication. The very first thing that I've noticed when hopping on this team is that they had no sales communication prior. Like not a central place to communicate, not a central place to track everything, things like that. Like no group chat, no check-ins, no real culture. And when there's no connection between reps and then everything becomes just transactional, which leads to low accountability, inconsistent follow-ups, and no real momentum when everything's not laid out. So what did I do? As being in sales, has been on many of offers that have done millions in couple of weeks, offers that have done 300K, offers that have done 200K anywhere. I've been on all these offers, so I know how it operates as well. I've also had a little bit of experience in growth operating, so I know how the back end systems work, right? So when I implemented, I love Discord. It's just way simpler for me. First, I implemented a channel for the Discord or channels for Discord. So dedicated channels for setters, closers, and just shared chats and a structured schedule. So daily team meetings plus separate training meetings, right? So I have 2 training meetings for my closers, 2 training meetings for my setters. And that's just how I do it. As far as, and that's Monday through Friday. I set the expectation that this is a team sport. We win as a unit, or else you're going to fall apart. Now, I have also very, very high competitiveness in me. Whatever that may be, it's just maybe because I played sports all my life or anything like that. But I run my team damn near like a basketball team, like point guard, shooting guard. Like I have my go-to guys that I know that are going to be the top performers, and I can honestly rely. But my goal is to have every single one of my team, be a 5-star, if you call it. But this is a very team-based thing. I have my setters very close to my closers. I'm very close with all my reps. I talk to my reps on a daily basis, just even call them just to ask them how they're doing, right? So this is like one of the biggest parts that had to change, right? Now, when I say daily training, daily growth, if your team is decent, right, they'll get rusty without reps. Most agencies don't have training or are afraid of overtraining reps. I believe in like the actual opposite. You need to train your ass off. Like if you're not training every single day, you're not going to get to where you want to go. That's just the hard truth of it. Because every single person out there is working just as hard, or not just as hard. They're not doing the training. They're not doing the training. So if you go the extra mile and train every single day, there's no reason why you won't be able to get above them, get past them, because you put in the work yourself. Especially the way I look at my team. When I very first hopped on, we had no training. I changed for every single day for 2 weeks straight with the setters, with the closers, making sure that we were as dialed as possible. And I can actually believe like, okay, when I handle these dudes or like I give them leads, they're going to be able to book them. They're going to be able to close them. And then on top of that, I can actually trust them in the go high level. I can actually trust them in our CRM, right? A lot of people, a lot of reps don't, a lot of agency owners don't even trust their sales rep inside of your CRM. And like, how does that even work? Like, you can't run a team and not have them be the people inside the CRM. It's just not an efficient way to run your team, right? So, like I said, our training schedule: Monday updates, KPIs, things like that. Tuesday, Thursday, we do closer training, objection handling, call reviews, mock calls. Wednesday, Friday, it's actually it's actually Monday and Friday, but it doesn't matter. This is just an example. Setter training drills, frameworks, tonality. Tonality with setting is one of the biggest parts. If you don't have tonality on a setting call, you can easily cook the call. I've made role plays and call reviews mandatory. Even the top performers participate because that sets the standard, keeps them sharp, and sets the bar for literally everybody else. If I have my top guy underperforming, it's going to show the person that just came on like, oh, I could just fuck off. I don't really have to do this. But no, if my top performer is like, yeah, okay, I'm showing up to the meetings, camera on, listening to all my call reviews, we're doing mocks. He's constantly getting better. And even so, I'm listening to his calls and saying, nah, I will change this up. I'll change this up, change this up. Because even as a top performer, you can still constantly get better. That's the beauty about sales. It's a never-ending sport where you can always constantly get better. Never think that you're the person that, oh yeah, I'm at max skill level. No, there's another level. There's a deeper psychology that you can tap into with sales. Now, CRM and pipeline fixes. This is where majority of this is like the more tedious stuff, but they can sway a lot of your business, right? Having a good, solid CRM and pipeline management will allow you to one control like the leads and actually understand okay where they are at in the funnel and where you actually need to improve in. So a lot of agencies think that they do have a solid system, do have a solid CRM setup, but in reality, it's chaos. I rebuilt everything in our Go High Level League, literally everything, from left to right. People know how to move the sales process across the board, and even ownership across each stage, and how people know how to tag each and every single person. Now, key updates I made, like obviously clear movement in the pipeline and nothing stays idle. Setters and closer are on top of their separate pipelines. Once a lead, I believe, touches a closer, it's 100% their responsibility to get them back on the calendar, to follow up with them, collect more cash, because buckets around lead intent, new lead, booked, no show, follow up, dead, etc. This is where you have to understand, okay, this is what part of the process that this prospect's in and how much I actually need to contact them more. When reps understand how to fully use their CRMs, your conversion rate, I cannot stress this enough, your conversion rate is going to drastically increase. Not because like the leads are getting better, but it's going to be, everything's going to be tight and more efficient. You want to run an efficient team because at the end of the day, people think info, stuff like that is just like, it's not a real business. This is an actual business. You're actually running a business or an agency, and you need to start performing like this is one of these businesses that you would see out on the street. Because when you start thinking like that, it's just going to start clicking, and then boom, you're going to be all of a sudden outperforming your content. Now, a one big kind of thing that has to flip for you guys, that obviously you guys can make all the changes in the world. At the end of the day, you can only optimize to 100%. Right? But you guys have to make sure if you guys aren't running ads, your organic lead flow is by far like the best, right? Like you have to have certain posts per day, right? Whether that's 3 posts per day on, TikTok, Reels, Shorts, whatever it may be, or even 2 long form, videos each and every single week. Because you have to make sure each and every single week you have a system in place to constantly get leads. Because if you have no system in place, it's not going to allow you to get the leads that you want to get to, right? This created like we're going to get way more warm leads, right? And then obviously combined with the follow-up schedule, which I'll kind of explain next, it becomes like almost unstoppable. Now we started doing SMS and email campaigns every single day. Obviously, I still think this is a part of the sales process, because if you're able to blast people every single day across the sales side, and like I'm tracking, okay, how many people are responding, what type of responses are we getting, it's going to allow you to just get a better understanding of one, how many leads or how many people we can actually contact and how many people we can actually book in more. So chances are like let's just say like, if you ever generated over 1,000 leads, chances are like majority of them are not going to be booked, right? That's why you put an SMS blast, email blast, soft CTAs, and then like you have to make sure that you're constantly firing these off, like harassing people to make sure that they understand, okay, what you're actually doing. Now, my goal is always to be above the KPI, right? This is my goal, always be above the KPI, and I believe with SMS blast, email blast, it can actually allow you to do that, right? But the biggest thing that I want to say for here, like what kind of really changed is I diagnosed the bottleneck from the very beginning. Okay, what was it? Was it a setter issue, closer issue? If it was, in that case, setter issue, we need to book a ton of calls, but low show rates. How can we fix that? Okay, daily trainings, 2 weeks straight, focused on tone, urgency, show up rate, and rebuilt the entire pre-call sequence from when these dudes actually hop on the call, when they actually book after a call, what are they getting followed up with? And then what was the result? We increased the show rate to 93%. As the video showed you before, I have a video breaking down how I have a 97% show rate for one of my setters. And this is just by tightening this one area. Lastly, is call reviews will turn you guys into killers. I cannot stress this enough. Review your calls. Call reviews will turn you into a killer because once you're locked in, we turned you into killers. Here's the deal. All right. Is if you're not reviewing your calls weekly, you're giving 20-30% revenue just on the table. So what did I implement? Weekly call reviews with each closer, feedback, objection breakdowns, tone, and then call grading sheets. So the reps get dialed feedback, not just, oh yeah, that was good. And then identity frame, I can't speak. Identified key objections, themes, and pre-handled like them in the scripts or frameworks. Sorry, I don't really like using the word script, but pre-handling them in the frameworks so these people understand. Okay, this is how I need to handle this. This is how I can handle it before, and it's going to make the process much smoother. But this was kind of a very soft dive on like how I really scaled it to 100K a month. Obviously, there was a lot of more things that I had to implement, but this is just like kind of the main things. Now, let me know if you guys do like these sort of style videos. I'm going to be going ahead and really breaking down a lot more in the future. But if you guys have any other questions, you guys can go ahead, click that first link in the description. That is my Instagram where you guys can ask me any sales questions, things like that. And then also for anybody that, just likes hearing me talk or just wants business advice or even would want to even work underneath the agency in terms of being on one of the offers that I manage, I have a free Telegram where I kind of go over everything. But you guys do have to follow me on Instagram. I don't send it to anybody who does not follow me, so you guys have to follow me. And again, it's going to be the first link in the description with my Instagram in it. If you guys have any sort of questions, comments, things like that, I answer those in the Telegram, give you guys sales advice, get post job opportunities in there as well. But that's going to be pretty much it for this YouTube video. I hope you guys got a lot of sauce from it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.